Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to talk to you more about Soulbound reward cards and how I actually think that we need to continue the tradition that we've started with a third series of Soulbound reward cards. At this point, I have not heard confirmation from the team as to whether or not they prefer this method to the other method, which is literally liquid cards that you can sell, rent whatever you want with them, destroy whatever. These ones, Soulbound cards, are the new normal as far as I'm concerned, and I hope that this is not a dying trend, but a one that we renew with a third set. If you wonder why am I saying a third set of Soulbound cards, remember we have Gladius cards, then we have Soulbound rewards, and now I'm talking about a new one, a new set altogether that will be Soulbound again, that will be reward based. Maybe a fourth would be another Gladius edition, because we have heard that they will eventually do that. The video that I want to have here, the conversation I want to have, is the power and the impact of cards being soulbound. And there is pros and cons for why you would want this. So let's talk about it, because I suspect this will be a conversation that we will need to lead, because the team will probably follow what we want. If we say we want soulbound, they'll probably make it soulbound. If we say we want transferable right from the get-go, I bet they'll honor that. Especially as a DAO, we can probably request or commission different approaches. So let's talk about it. If you're new to my channel, my name is Dwayne Cunningham. I go by Infidel1258. You can call me 12. Check out the channel and the membership page if you want to get more content. We do weekly live events for my members only, but also there's a huge library of member-only content, so check it out and get involved if you're interested. Okay, let's get into it. So I should say that I was checking out my comment section, as I often do. Please leave comments on every video and I'll try to read them. And when I can, I'll do responses to certain topics. I just saw an interesting video that got me going. It was on Powis dropped a comment and he goes, this was a video I recently did, one of my rank grind videos. And side note, you guys don't often watch the rank grind videos to the same extent that you watch the other content. Sort of these frequently asked questions or, you know, live events, you'll watch more often than rank content. But I noticed this video did quite well, which is to say, I really believe that there is a growing appetite, a growing excitement for our game from the people who already know and love it. I'm not saying we're really growing into new communities at this moment, but the people that know about it are having a renewed joy here. I am, and I think maybe you are too. Powis dropped a comment on this video where I was talking about rank grind, and I was talking about specifically about Kulu Mastermind, one of the Soulbound reward cards, and I think it's exceptional. You cannot buy it, you have to earn it. I like that feature, and it's frustrating if you don't have it, but it's awesome if you do. It's like this exclusivity, it's this scarcity, it's this rarity. You know, you just have to invest time and attention. You have to keep playing the game. You have to hope and pray. And then when you get it, you're like, you know, it's a real celebration, as opposed to every other card in the game, except for the Gladius, where I can just go to the marketplace and buy whatever I want, throw money at it and just make it happen. It's this very satisfying, you can't always get what you want. And there's something very satisfying about that, ironically, because in a world where we can, especially in the Western world, where we can have what we want by throwing money at it, when an item like Soulbound's come along and you just can't do that, it's very, it's exciting. It's great when you were able to get it and then put it to work. So I enjoyed that video. I talked about the Kulu Mastermind, and Powis drops in and he goes, I can't pull this card unit, but would be the first if I'd buy. So he's saying, I haven't gotten lucky enough to get it yet, but man, if it was for sale, if it was available on the marketplace, I would buy it. And it made me think, you know, I don't see in that comment a sense of frustration that he doesn't have it. What I see is an eagerness and a longing to have it. And those are totally different things. I think a longingness for assets in the game, like for a community of people to desire the assets in such a way that they cannot immediately gratify that desire, is a great thing. That's the sort of scarcity and rarity that I've talked about on this channel before, with what I want to see with certain cards, whether it's numbered cards. You could put every card has a specific number. This is the first fire color of a 10,000 or 100,000 or whatever the case may be. And that would be one way of creating a type of scarcity on each of the cards. Or Maybe some of them are ultra rare. They're not just regular foil or gold foil. Maybe one in a million is diamond foil. Like, again, scarcity would depend on whether you're common, rare, epic, or legendary. But recognize what I'm saying is just, it's not even about an in-game benefit. I'm not saying another tier of card that would give you a third improvement or payout to your rank rewards. I'm talking simply about superficial scarcity. The number of your card, who cares, right? It's not going to affect how powerful it is, but it would create this longing for some. It's a collectability. And you can't just necessarily, even if you want number one, if you want the number one Rooney, you have to pay a premium to that. And I think Soulbounds are scratching a bit of that itch that our community has never really had, because all of the cards up until Gladius were released to buyers. You could come in and you could buy them. But now some of these amazing cards, some of the most exceptional cards in this game, Cooler Mastermind. I'm really starting to use Barrack Snake Eye. Ooh, I use Uset all the time now. It's like one of my strong, very common death cards. I go to it very frequently, especially in reverse rule set. Jared Scar. Jared Scar is a card that I think will carry a very significant value in the future. Now, this is not a Soulbound reward card, but hear what I'm saying. There are certain cards that are exceptional, and if they were tied to your account from a Soulbound perspective, as Izzyar is, as Uset is, as Barrack Snake Eye, as Kulu Mastermind are, and there's a ton of others in the Epic and the Rare and the Common that are exceptional, and you will want them. You would do two things. One, create an excitement about certain rewards that cannot easily be attained, but once attained, can be celebrated. When you drop a gold foil Izzyar in your daily reward chest, there will be a substantial response to you. Like, you will feel that is awesome, that is exciting, that is special, that is, I can't just go out and buy that, regardless of, no matter if I have $1 million. Well, to be fair, you could if you had, because you could buy my account if, and people do this. But from a practical and feasibility standpoint, these are non-transferable across accounts. There are ways to kind of circumvent that by buying or selling an entire account. But for now, the transferability of these is very limited. And what I'm saying is that makes the rewards and the drops when they happen far more exciting. So that's like the pro side of it, of course. There is a downside. There is a downside. The downside of having these amazing Soulbound cards is that if you are not able to collect it, if you are unlucky enough that you haven't been able to earn, if you haven't earned the Varnari Marks Rat yet, you are losing more often than you should. Like, let me expand on that idea. It's not a carry card, but that neutral martyr is very useful and is used a lot. So achieving it is a big deal. And that can be frustrating to the player who hasn't yet earned it. But that's two sides of the same coin. Do you see what I'm saying? On the one side, we have people who are going to be able to enjoy and celebrate the unlocking of these amazing cards, especially at the higher levels that you want. Like when you get Lob Lowland at that diamond level, if you're fighting in Diamond Champion, gold if you're fighting in gold, when you get these cards leveled to the level that you want and need for your consistent gameplay and rank level that you compete at, it's a huge success. It's a huge victory. It's a point of celebration. So there's a joy in chasing them, but there's a frustration in waiting on them. And I'm saying that's a really cool tension, because whenever you can, if you make every asset, any card in this game, picture any card, and you say, let's make it so commonplace, so easy to attain, anyone can have it for a penny, for less than a penny, you end up creating a card that no one is excited about because everyone has it. And I think the degree to which we're able to lean into the importance of scarcity is the degree to which we are going to foster excitement for the in-game assets. And again, it doesn't have to be monetary. I'm not just talking about cards that produce rank reward payouts or SPS earnings or tournament victories, etc. I talked to you earlier about numbering the cards. I talked to you earlier about like other other visualizations or skins. I talked about a diamond foil. Again, it wouldn't have to be better than gold. So I'm not saying it's going to produce more land benefits and we have to rethink all the sort of math around land or in-game rewards, etc. I'm just saying, give us this really interesting, scarce things to chase after. If inside Rebellion packs, there was one copy of each legendary summoner that was a diamond foil, and I literally mean one copy, and it was just dropped randomly onto somebody, there would be so much fun in chasing after that. Again, it wouldn't have to provide an in-game benefit. Soulbound cards provide an in-game benefit. That's awesome. I like them. But I'm saying, recognizing the tension that a player and a collector will walk in and enjoy that tension when we want but can't have is something that this team should see as valuable. And I think it's one reason why we need to see another edition of Soulbound reward cards when these ones are a little long in the tooth. They said originally 2 years of these cards. Now, I think more recently I heard Matt say possibly closer to a year. If we go, another 6 months on these things, I think some people are going to have max level copies. My current reward set is shown here on splintercards.ca. If you want to see splintercards.com, you can go to look at their tools and you can find how many Soulbound rewards you have, and you can see the progression in regular foil or gold. And this is common, rare, epic, and legendary. As you can see, I have a very strong deck. Now, I'm still lacking quite a number of the epics and legendaries in terms of number of BCX, but we're getting there. If I do this for another 6 months, a year for sure, I'm going to be maxed out. And I don't mind having extra copies. But what I'm saying is, eventually, they're going to give new reward cards. What do you want them to be? Soulbound? Transferable? And one last note, remember that these Soulbound cards will be made transferable through the burning of DEC. And we all know that we want to see more and more DEC burn mechanisms because we want to create more and more opportunity to hold DEC at peg, which will proc the SPS flywheel. So I see lots of benefits to this. It's like it's like the tease to the collector. It's the excitement in looking at and opening up and looking at your rewards. Maybe I'll get one of these amazing Soulbound cards that I haven't yet had. And finally, it's almost like bragging right over others. Yes, there's some downsides, like a player who hasn't yet earned an amazing Kulu Swim Hunter, or whatever it's called, Kulu Mastermind, that's what it's called. There's a frustration. But then there will be an even greater joy when Powis does unlock that card. What do you guys think? Do you think the next issuance of reward cards should be Soulbound, or should they be out the gate transferable? Let me know in the comments below. Have an amazing day. God bless.